Oh, hello and welcome to this video. So I want to have a look at number of stocks just to see what the technical picture looks like. So the stock I want to look at are Tesla, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, ServiceNow, Palantir, Zscaler, Boeing and Caterpillar in this video. I'm basically looking for a setup for the next trade. So let's start with Tesla. So Tesla had a very strong week. I mean, it's been strong the last few weeks. I did a video a couple of weeks ago where I said that on a daily basis, the technical picture was beginning to look positive. And obviously you can see that it's looking much stronger. On a weekly basis, previously, you see that it had a series of lower highs. This was the previous lower high. But that's no longer the case because now it has established a higher high. So this high is now higher than this high. So this sequence of lower high is now invalidated. Also in the process, it has now established a weekly higher low. So this low is now higher than this low. So the current structure is definitely now looking positive. So that's point number one. Also on a weekly basis, if I look at the momentum indicators, RSI is now well above the 50 level. So this is positive. And look at MACD. MACD is now crossing above the zero line. So it hasn't done that for a long time, ever since it fell below this level, fell below the zero line in 2022. It hasn't managed to get back above the zero line. You can see there was a rejection right here. So if it's able to completely get back above the zero line like this way, I think this would be really, really positive. I mean, if you look at the other stocks, like for example, if you look at Amazon, look at Amazon's MACD, it's crossing above the zero line. If you look at Microsoft, Microsoft MACD crossed above the zero line a while ago, and so forth and so on. So Tesla, among the big tech, is the only one where the weekly MACD hasn't crossed above the zero line, but it looks like it wants to do that right now. So based on that, I would say both the price action momentum indicators are positive. Now that said, the question is, do I want to buy Tesla at this level? Probably not, only because it has had a big run up. If you look at it on a daily basis, it looks a bit overbought. If we look at the on a daily basis, you can see that on a daily basis RSI is over 85. And although the momentum indicators are very, very strong, but I don't want to buy it at this level. Can it afford a pullback in search of maybe another weekly higher low? So I'm looking at it on a weekly basis. I think so. Maybe it can do something like this, maybe a shallow pullback, retest this level, which is the level that it broke out from, and then does something like this. If it does that, then this level then becomes another weekly higher low in addition to these two. And if it does that, is that going to break its technical picture? I don't think so. I think I think something like that would be quite healthy. If it does that and breaks out like this way, I think it would be quite healthy. So that's basically how I would like to get involved. Maybe a shallow pullback, maybe retest these levels, show that there is buyers committed at this level, and then if it rallies and takes out this level, and that will show that this is there is genuine commitment. But overall, I would say the weekly pattern looks quite strong at the moment. The monthly price action momentum indicators are also looking better for Tesla. So that's Tesla. Now let's look at Apple next. So I'm going to look at a 4-hour chart on Apple. On a 4-hour chart, you can clearly see that this is a strong looking chart with series of higher lows, and this being the most recent low. Now if you look at the pattern, so it has had this rally and then it pulled back. So it pulled back and now it's now it's rallying. Now here are some of the things that I'm looking at. If it's able to get back up to this level and makes an equal high, I think that would be positive. So if it does that and makes an equal high, then what I would be looking for is maybe a shallow pullback and a break of this level, and that would show me that this then this becomes another higher low, and that would be a bullish sign to me. On the other hand, if it rises to this level, but doesn't take out, let's say if it does that and then pulls back, then this then becomes a potential double top. So that's the thing that I would be looking for, is if it rises to this level, what happens at this level? Does it pull back and break, or does it pull back and sort of forms a double top? On the other hand, the other possibility is, now that it's rallying, it doesn't go up to this level and it does something like this. In that case, then this level then becomes a lower high, and then a break of this level basically is showing me some weakness in this structure. In that case, the ultimate target would be this level, but there would also be some support in the middle of these two range. So that's another possibility I'm considering. I'm keeping an eye on if it's pullback. The other possibility is it pulls back but doesn't break this level, and then it does something like this. Then it becomes a double bottom right here. So in between this range, I think it's a no trade for me. Because I want to see whether it breaks either of this range. If it breaks to the upside, then I would consider taking the trade on the upside, and if it breaks to the downside, then it will show me that the structure is weakening. So that would be the way to go. Pull back and see whether it does that, pull back, or see whether it breaks this level. If it doesn't pull back, if it rallies, then makes an equal high, so that's good. Then I want to see whether there is a shallow pullback and then rally like that, or whether it pulls back and comes back to down this level. Then it becomes a double top kind of a situation. So that's Apple I'm looking at. Microsoft has a similar structure. If you look at Microsoft, if I also just bring in the volume for a second, then you'll know what I'm talking about. So you can see that Microsoft so let me just zoom out a little bit so you can see the structure better. So it also has a very strong looking chart, series of higher highs. Now, so after reaching this level, it has pulled back to this level, and now and this selling came on high volume right here. Now it's rebounding. So the question is, as I just talked about in Apple, whether it's going to rally all the way to this level and make an equal high, and then maybe a shallow pullback and do that, or whether it's going to rally to this level and pull back and potentially form a double top. So that's if it continues to rally. But the other possibility is that it doesn't it doesn't go all the way up to this level. It does something like this. One possibility is something like this. In that case, the structure starts to look something like this, which would be negative. The other possibility is that if it does pull back, let's say it goes up a little bit more and then pulls back, and then it doesn't break and then does that. So it makes an equal low right here. In that case, if it moves above this level, I would consider that to be positive. So I'm also looking to see how Microsoft is going to resolve this range. So this is the top of the range, this is the bottom of the range. I want to see which way it comes out. So it can make a lower high and break below this, or it can go up to this level, shallow pullback and break out. Then this becomes a bullish break. So that's Microsoft. Amazon has a similar structure also. You can see that Amazon also, series of higher highs. And then we had this big decline this week, which came on high volume. So I'm just watching to see whether this recovery goes all the way up to this level. If it does, then that's positive. Then I want to see whether it breaks this level. On the other hand, if it pulls back to this level, I want to see whether it breaks this level. If it does that, then I'll wait for a rejection of this level before going short. In that case, the structure will start to look a little bit negative. So that's Amazon. The next one I want to look at is ServiceNow, which has a similar structure. This is ServiceNow, NOW is the ticker symbol. Again, this had a big run up, and then you see this decline this week. This also came on high volume, and then since reaching this low, it rebounded a little bit. Again, you want to see whether or not it pulls back and breaks this level. If so, then the structure will start to show some weakness. But if it rebounds and makes an equal high, then obviously it negates this lower high possibility. So it would be similar to what we just talked about in Apple, Microsoft, Amazon. So watch the structure, watch which way it resolves between these two range. Next one is Zscaler. It has a similar pattern again. So I'm seeing a lot of similarities among the technology stocks. Strong run up and then this pullback, and then now we're seeing some rebound. So I want to see whether rebound is able to take this level out. If so, okay, that's positive, then this trend continues. But on the other hand, if it does pull back and break this level, then that this becomes a lower high, and that starts to show some weakness in the structure. So that's Zscaler. Another one is Palantir, which also has a similar pattern. You can see strong move to the upside. Now this is a bearish looking candle. You can see the rejection, and then since reaching low right here, and then it bounced, but it got rejected at the opening price of this candle. So now the question is whether it's gonna break this. If it breaks this level right here, that would be negative. The downside target would be around 1275. On the other hand, if it's able to maybe pull back, if it does something like this and then takes out this level, then this starts to look more like a double bottom. So watch how it resolve these two levels. So this is around 14.5 and this one is around 16. So watch Palantir. I know that it's one of the more actively traded stocks recently, so I'm watching to see how the pattern unfolds in coming days. You can see some of the momentum indicators as beginning to move lower, but I want to see on the price action to see how it gets resolved. Next one I want to look at is Boeing. So if you look at Boeing on a daily basis, so let me just zoom out so you can see it properly. So this is Boeing. You can see that for the last 1 year, it's been stuck in this zone. It hasn't done much. I'm just wondering whether I'm looking to see whether it's able to break out of this range to the upside. You can see there was a rejection here, there was a rejection here, and then you can see some rejection right here. So if it does something like this and breaks out of this range, I mean, that I would say is quite bullish. So I'm looking to see, so I'm not looking to buy right now. I'm only going to buy it if I see a break to the upside. And the better way to play would be, even if it breaks to the upside, you want to wait for, let's say if it does that, you want to wait for a retest and then move higher. Then you'll have some confidence that this level is now going to act as a support. Because if you just buy it on the break, let's say if it does that, then what happens is that what if it just comes back inside the zone, then this is going to be a failed breakout. So what you want to do is, if it breaks, then wait for a retest and then buy. I think that would be a better way of doing so, because that will then confirm the breakout is genuine. Another one I'm looking at is Caterpillar. So this is Caterpillar. So this one is also, it's been stuck in this zone for a while. You can see this was a support before, resistance right here, and then it broke out to the upside, and then now it's basically consolidating. So if I see a move to the upside above this level, then I will have some confidence that maybe Caterpillar wants to move higher. Then I will basically target something like this. But Caterpillar and Boeing, they look, the setup looks positive to me. So I'm just looking for a little bit more, I just want to wait a little bit longer and see whether or not this price action really is a genuine break, or whether this is going to be like a fake out. So those are the stocks that I'm watching. I will provide an update through Twitter if I see, any setup evolving. So you can follow me on my Twitter. The link is in the description below. Thank you very much for watching the video. I hope to see you again in a future video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please consider doing that. Thank you very much.